Philadelphia. I heard you mention no-see-ums, so I want to know what you know about them. What are they, and where do they come from, and under what conditions do they exist? Are they like flying gnat or swarming gnats that bite? Are they tiny and look like little pieces of lint? Pieces of white lint, and do they sting and bite? If these are no-see-ums, they're relentless in biting. So does the bite leave like a round welt on your skin, and they bite you wherever they can, on your ear, on your cheek, on your wrist, on your hands, on your thighs, legs, buttocks, wherever they can, they bite. And how can they be eliminated or prevented? Now, in Arizona, I think I had some no-see-ums, and I went to Ace Hardware, and they said it sounded like no-see-ums. So I want to know what you know about them and how to get rid of them. I tried some lavender candles. That helped a little bit. I read someplace that they use in like Vicks Vapor eucalyptus, that they don't like that smell, eucalyptus. So I want to know what you know about them. You mentioned them on Saturday's broadcast. So let me know if this is a description of the no-see-ums. Let me know what you find out.
Well, Julio,
let me tell you.
We got caught.
Yes, you did. You got caught.
Thanks. Let me out to dry. We talk about how horticultural jargon, like, botanical names and things. The no-see-um is the perfect example. Right. No-see-um is not a type of insect. It's more a description of something that you can't see, but you know that it's doing damage, or like Pearl said, you know that it's biting or stinging. If you can see them, they're not a no-see-um. A no-see-um is like an invisible insect that you know you're getting bit by but can't see. Yeah. Or your plant is getting eaten by that you can't see. So it's not actually a type of insect. It's a description of an insect. But we are here to help. The key to controlling something like that is, first of all, let's just say it's inside. Like, for instance, like bed bugs, you can see if you look for them, right? Right. But you generally don't see them or notice them. There are other insects inside, like for instance, fleas. Yeah. Small fleas, like if you have a cat or a dog and it's got fleas and it brings them in the house, you don't really see them when they're little. When they get big and they're jumping on your ankles, been there. Yeah. Then you see them, but early on, it's like you feel like there's something crawling on you, and you can't see them because they're so small. Those types of things. So, like, we're going to deal with just inside the house. And Julio, you grab some things these are all for outside.
Yes,
right?
For outside, yeah.
We have it's actually from Bio Advanced, and I sprayed it in my own home. And what it has is it's a type of insect spray for indoors as a perimeter spray. Had an issue with ants, little tiny ants, and they're coming from I don't know where.
Who knows what?
So this is a preventative because it deters them, but it also will kill them. So that if they cross a threshold and walk over that, it's going to kill them. That's a type of no-see-um control that I'm talking about. There are also things, if you feel that you're getting bit, that more than likely that's fleas bite. That if you have pets, I personally, like for flea control, they have what they call the bombs. Now, I don't want to, it's basically a spray where you just, you get everything out of the room, you cover up anything that might be damaged by the residue, and that it lets that off. And that's usually a type of thrin. And Julio, what is a thrin?
It's a permethrin. It comes from the organic matter.
No.
Chrysanthemum.
Boy, Julio.
Oh, I forgot. Oh,
Do you ever listen to the show?
oh, I did. Yeah.
A thrin is inorganic.
Inorganic. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now tell me.
Coming from an organic chrysanthemum.
So it's copied.
Yeah.
But
it's an insecticide.
Why do you
Chemical.
have a thrin rather than the original?
Because of the length of the residual, it'll last longer.
Okay. On the other type of thrin as opposed to a permethrin.
Right.
Or pyrethrin.
Pyrethrin.
Where pyrethrin, it decays from sunlight. And you don't necessarily want that because, it's gone in a day.
It's going quickly, yeah.
If you're strictly organic, then you could go with that. But again, the bombs that go off where you get them out of the room and you just let them go off and they basically will fill the room with the insecticide. And that's the type of thing where, like, again, no-see-um is not an insect. It's not a type of insect, but it's one of those things that you feel in your house. Right. Or you see damage on your plants, but you never see the insect
itself.
Now, going on the outside of your house, on your plants, you want to use a systemic so that it makes the plant poisonous to the insect so that when it goes to bite that plant, that it goes and kills them. And Julio, what have you got? What examples do you have for us here?
Yeah, for systemic, I have the Bio-Advanced Rose and Flower Spray concentrate.
So that's a drench.
Mm-hmm,
That's a drench. So it's not a spray,
No.
or is it?
No, it's a spray.
Is it so it's not a drench?
No, you spray it on, but it's a systemic, so it'll internally go into the plant.
So makes the plant poisonous to the insect.
To the insect, yeah.
Right. Okay.
But it does come in a granular form, by the way.
Right. And I like using the granular form just simply because it has a fertilizer in it. It also has a disease control in it. And you want to look for where it says 3-in-1. Julio, is that a 3-in-1?
3-in-1.
3-in-1.
Yep.
But is it 3-in-1? Because some of them cheat. Make sure you're reading the labels.
Yeah.
Because this is a cheater. This is a cheater. Because if you look on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, it's got, instead of being a disease, an insect, and fertilizer, it's doubling down on insects. So it says it's a disease control, an insect control, and a mite control.
Oh, yes.
Give me a break. They just said, like, look, we're going to make it a 3-in-1 because it's going to control mites. It's going to control mites anyway.
Yeah.
So the mites and insects. So it's an insect control that controls mites.
Right.
Where if it had a fertilizer in it, it'd be that much better.
It'd be better, yeah.
And the granular 3-in-1 has the fertilizer in it.
That's
so
right.
just saying. So so those of you get your pencils right, because we often get yelled at by some of our listeners.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
you don't say the name of the product. You're looking for the granular form of Bio-Advanced Rose Care, and it's a 3-in-1 where it has an insect control, a disease control, and it has a fertilizer. And that I planted annuals in pots. I planted annuals in the ground. I planted shrubs in the ground. I used this product, no matter if it was in the ground, and the one that we're talking about, the granular, I use it as a fertilizer. So I put it in my combo pots. I put it in, like for instance, if you're planting zinnias are known to get powdery mildew.
Yeah, sure.
But again, this conversation is about no-see-ums.
No-see-ums, yeah.
And again, no-see-ums is not an insect. It describes something that you can't see, but is there, because either, like Pearl said, either it bites you or you feel it crawling on you or it's something, but you can't see it because it's so small. Mites are like that. Like we talked about rose rosette.
Rose rosette, yeah.
Rose rosette, the disease is and it's a virus is carried by a mite.
A mite. Can't
and
see
the
them.
mite is like, what, 2/100ths of an inch?
Yeah.
Something
I can't
crazy
see that.
like that. And that you can't really see it.
Yeah.
But again, if you're treating with a insecticide that is a systemic, you'll control the mite, hopefully before it spreads the disease.
Boy.
What have you got to add, Julio?
Yeah, those no-see-ums, you wake up, in the morning, you go, what happened? Right? That's why you can't see them. So, you're talking about like earwigs are one of them. They're
At night.
At night, yeah.
Because they go at night.
They go into the soil and then they come up to eat while you're sleeping.
Yeah. Not in your house.
Not in your house.
Hope not, anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Earwigs are those little insects that turn into a ball when you touch them. Yeah. That they close up and turn into a ball. They got a little shell. They look like I don't know. Ugly. As a kid, I thought they were cool because they look like a little tank.
Oh, is that
yeah. Crawling around, and then all of a sudden you touch them, and then they go.
So. Is that what you spend your time playing with the little?
Hey, man, I was on the farm.
Oh, yeah.
Down on the farm.
Down on the farm.
Yeah, so,
okay.
Yeah. Hey, not all of us, we're in the luxury suite at the Pittman Country Club.
Oh, wow.
So, anyway, but again, systemic is one way to be sure that you get control, but you can't use it on vegetables. Yeah. You've got issues on vegetables. You want to use a Bonides 8 is probably the best, just because it's a general contact insecticide. Hold that sucker up, Julio, so our YouTube people can see it. Again, no Siem's Pearl. Sorry for the confusion, but it's what us horticultural guys sometimes do, and it's not on purpose. It's just because we know the jargon. So, all right, we're going to be back in the garden next and talk about when is a lilac not a lilac. We'll be right back right after this. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Coast of Maine's Organic Castine Blend Organic Raised Bed Mix is the best soil for raised bed gardens, planter boxes, and container gardens. It grows amazing vegetables. It is made with a mixture of manure compost, worm castings, lobster and kelp meal, mycorrhiza, green sand, and biochar. It's ready to use straight out of the bag with no need for additional components or tilling. If you love growing fresh and hearty vegetables, herbs, and flowers, Coast of Maine's Castine Blend Organic Raised Bed Mix is the perfect choice for you. At Coast of Maine, we believe in growing organically and buying locally. Castine Organic Raised Bed Mix can be found at these fine stores: Pickering Valley Feed and Farm, Exton, PA; Ashcombs Farm and Greenhouses, Mechanicsburg, PA; Sickles, Little Silver, New Jersey.
Is she gone?
Nope, she's still standing there.
What is she doing?
I think she's watching the grass grow.
That's our job.
I know, right? She's watching the grass grow, the flowers grow. Ooh, look, the trees are growing.
Can't say as I blame her. Remember where she bought all this stuff?
Duh, bought us there too.
Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Find us online at bloomers.com.
You're listening to Bloomers in the Garden Radio. Listen anytime through your favorite podcast provider or hear us on the radio each weekend. Every Saturday morning, Bloomers in the Garden Radio is heard in Philadelphia and throughout the whole Delaware Valley, first at 8 a.m. on Talk 860 WWDB and again at 9 a.m. on AM 800 WTMR. On Sunday at 8 a.m., we can be heard through the New York tri-state area on Classic Oldies, 1250 a.m. WMTR. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the garden.